In today's video, we're diving deep into the psychology of relationships and discussing the subtle yet telling signs that may indicate a woman has had multiple experiences with men. This isn't about judgment, but rather about understanding behavioral cues from a psychological perspective. It's essential to approach this topic with empathy and objectivity as we explore how certain behaviors, patterns, and tendencies can arise from different life experiences. We'll be exploring female psychology, and the aim is to understand how a woman's past can sometimes be reflected in the present. Remember, people are complex, and these signs should not be seen as stereotypes or indicators of worth. Each individual is unique, and past experiences vary widely. But understanding these signs can help us understand how complex relationships work and how people adapt to different circumstances. Let's explore these signs without further delay, offering a respectful and insightful take on the nuances of female psychology. Chapter 1. Self-confidence and independence. Women who have experienced many relationships may exhibit certain self-confidence and independence that sets them apart. This doesn't mean they are emotionally distant or uncaring. On the contrary, it could indicate that they've developed a sense of autonomy and self-assurance over time. Being in multiple relationships can teach a person a lot about their own boundaries, desires, and needs, leading to a greater understanding of themselves. These women often feel comfortable in their own skin and are not reliant on external validation for their self-worth. They know what they want and are not afraid to go after it. This type of self-confidence can be seen in how they carry themselves, make decisions, and interact with others. Whether it's a career, social life, or personal growth, these women are typically unafraid to take charge and assert themselves. Their ability to stand firm in their beliefs and make independent decisions reflects a sense of control that often comes from navigating multiple relationships. While some might view this as aloofness, it's really the result of maturity and a learned sense of self-respect. Chapter 2. Comfortable with physical boundaries. Another sign that can emerge from a woman who has had multiple relationships is her comfort with physical boundaries. She may be very aware of her own physical space and how she allows others to navigate it. This doesn't necessarily indicate promiscuity, but rather a deep understanding of personal boundaries and the different ways individuals express intimacy. Having been in various relationships, she might be more attuned to what feels right for her physically, emotionally, and mentally. It's common for people to set clear boundaries after having multiple relationships, both in terms of physical touch and emotional vulnerability. These women typically don't shy away from initiating affection when they feel comfortable, but they also won't hesitate to create distance when something doesn't feel right. This sense of balance in physical relationships comes from experience and learning how to navigate different dynamics. Understanding these boundaries allows her to connect more meaningfully with those she engages with, while protecting herself from situations that might compromise her well-being. Chapter 3. Emotional regulation and control. A woman who has been through various relationships might exhibit a high degree of emotional regulation. Over time, she's likely learned how to manage her emotions and reactions more effectively, especially in stressful or difficult situations. This doesn't mean she's emotionally distant or unavailable. Rather, it indicates that she has worked through emotional experiences and now has better control over how she reacts to emotional triggers. Such emotional regulation is often the result of learning from the ups and downs of multiple relationships. Whether it's heartbreak, disappointment, or intense connection, each experience has helped her build a toolkit for managing her feelings. These women are typically good at handling conflict, maintaining composure in emotionally charged situations, and understanding how to navigate their feelings in healthy ways. Emotional regulation in relationships can also be a sign of maturity. When you've been through a lot, you learn that overreaction is rarely the best response, and maintaining composure is key to keeping relationships healthy and thriving. Chapter 4. Comfort with vulnerability and openness. Having experienced various connections with men, a woman might become more comfortable with vulnerability and openness. She might be more willing to express her feelings, desires, and even insecurities with a partner, knowing that such openness fosters deeper and more genuine connections. Through her experiences, she has learned the value of communication and emotional transparency. This comfort with vulnerability is a reflection of growth and understanding. When you've been in different relationships, you recognize that true intimacy isn't just about physical closeness, but emotional sharing. A woman who has been in multiple relationships often knows the importance of opening up and allowing others to see her true self. This doesn't mean she's revealing all her secrets, but rather that she understands the value of emotional intimacy and is open to it when the right connection presents itself. Chapter 5. Strong sense of what she wants in a partner. One of the most telling signs of a woman who has had multiple experiences with men is her strong sense of what she wants in a partner. After being in different relationships, she has had the opportunity to reflect on what worked, what didn't, and what she truly values in a connection. As a result, she's likely very clear about her non-negotiables in a relationship. Her clarity in selecting a partner is shaped by lessons learned from past experiences. She may no longer tolerate behaviors or dynamics that don't align with her needs. This clarity is a result of having tested different relationships and understanding what brings her happiness and fulfillment. It's also a sign of personal growth and maturity. She understands that settling for less than she deserves is not an option. Chapter 6. A realistic view of love and relationships. A woman who has been through multiple relationships typically has a more realistic view of love and relationships. She understands that love is not just about passion and romance, but about compatibility, mutual respect, and growth. This realistic perspective may come from navigating different types of relationships, whether they were fleeting or long-term. She likely knows that relationships require effort, communication, and compromise. While the early stages of a relationship can be exciting, she recognizes that sustaining a meaningful connection requires work from both parties. Her experiences have helped her see love through a lens that balances idealism with practicality. This balanced approach allows her to navigate relationships with a clearer understanding of the challenges and rewards they bring. Chapter 7. Ability to trust and build intimacy. Trust is an essential component of any relationship, and a woman who has had multiple partners often knows the value of building trust. Her experiences have taught her how to trust others, as well as how to establish intimacy without rushing into it. She understands that building a solid foundation of trust takes time and consistency. Her past experiences may have included learning from broken trust or betrayal, but those lessons help her understand the importance of transparency, honesty, and patience. Trust is something she carefully nurtures, knowing that it's the cornerstone of any lasting relationship. Whether it's emotional or physical intimacy, she is cautious but open, ready to invest in meaningful connections when she feels that trust is earned. Chapter 8. Understanding of what healthy relationships look like. Women who have been through many relationships often have a refined understanding of what a healthy relationship looks like. They've experienced both healthy and unhealthy dynamics, and they know the difference. This insight allows them to prioritize emotional health, mutual respect, and healthy communication in their relationships moving forward. Having experienced a variety of relationship dynamics, These women often place a high value on balance, equality, and mutual growth in their connections. They know that a good relationship is built on both parties' efforts, and they're unlikely to settle for anything less than a partnership that supports them emotionally, mentally, and physically. Chapter 9. An increased awareness of red flags. A woman who has been through many relationships often develops a sharp eye for red flags in others. She's likely more adept at spotting potential issues early on and is more likely to avoid toxic or unhealthy dynamics. These red flags can range from communication issues to emotional manipulation to mismatched values. Her ability to spot these warning signs comes from experience. She's learned what to look out for and how to respond when things don't feel right. This awareness allows her to navigate future relationships more effectively, making healthier choices when it comes to partners. Chapter 10. Less idealization of partners. As women gain more relationship experience, they tend to stop idealizing their partners as much. Instead, they become more realistic about their partner's strengths and weaknesses. This doesn't mean they love them any less, but they recognize that no one is perfect, and they learn to appreciate their partner for who they truly are. Idealization often fades as women grow more experienced. They understand that no relationship is perfect, and instead of holding on to unrealistic expectations, they focus on building a strong, supportive, and authentic connection with their partner. Chapter 11. A clearer sense of personal goals and aspirations. Finally, a woman who has had multiple relationships may have a clearer sense of her personal goals and aspirations. Through her experiences, she's gained a better understanding of her own values, dreams, and what she wants to achieve in life. She's likely more focused on her own personal growth, and she understands how important it is to maintain her individuality even while being in a relationship. Her clarity in her goals also means she's less likely to settle for relationships that don't align with her vision for the future. This sense of direction allows her to navigate her relationships with purpose and intention, ensuring that she's building a future that reflects her true self. Conclusion. Understanding the psychology behind relationships is crucial, and these signs are not about judging a woman's worth, but rather about recognizing the depth of experience that comes from navigating various connections. Women, like men, are complex individuals whose behavior is shaped by their experiences. These signs are simply reflections of personal growth, learning, and understanding. Each individual is different, and no single experience defines a person's worth or character. It's important to approach these insights with empathy and an open mind, recognizing that everyone's journey is unique.